What's up, everybody? Just give me a couple minutes, or maybe just a minute to let people join up if they want to join. Send a couple invites out. What's going on, everybody? Just give me 1 second. Let people join up. How's everybody's weekend going? Good? Oh, I should have done this. What's going on? Just give me one more second. I'm sending out this last one for people to join up. You guys like the picture in the background? That was the theme this past week, a trap. Trap for shorts. There we go. What's going on? What's going on? All this week, it seemed like it was a lot of traps for shorts. Everywhere. As soon as a stock looked like it was dead and it just kept declining and declining and declining, out of nowhere it would just start shooting up, and just all the shorts would just go crazy and cover their positions. Let's see. Go to the NASDAQ.com. I already have some that I'm going to go over real quickly. So first off, even if you guys got a pen and paper, let's write all these down to keep track on going into Monday, October 8th. First one I'm going to be keeping an eye on is ALT. And just to give you guys a heads up, if you guys have a cash account going into Monday, Monday the markets are open, but it's a bank holiday. So if you traded with a cash account Friday, your funds won't be settled until Tuesday or Wednesday. Now, my funds ain't going to be settled on Charles Schwab because I took a trade on Friday. So my funds won't be settled till Wednesday. But I have a backup account, TD Ameritrade, that I can trade on. So I'm all set, and that's margin. So I should be good to go there. It's just Charles Schwab I'm going to have to wait for Wednesday. So first up, we got ALT here. ALT popped twice this week. Monday, it popped a little bit, and then Friday, this thing just went nuts from 460 to a high of 770-ish. Let's go to the 3-minute on this. You could see that right here. Very, very super low float stock. The float on this is under 1 million, I believe. And you could see here, let's see. Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Yep. So Monday, this went on a nice little spike up in the morning from 450 to a high of 564. This thing likes to move fast. So I wouldn't recommend chasing this at all, because as fast as it goes up, it can come right back down. And you can see that right here on this, when it goes from 460 to a high of 638, and it pulls back all the way down to $5. So if you would have chased this, you would have been down $1.50 on it, chasing it. Let it spike, let it do its thing, let it pull back, let it start to form something. You could see it. It pulled back and it was still trending down, and then it stabilized itself here, started to move its way back on up to the VWAP, reclaimed the VWAP, and then started going up. A great entry here at 563. You could have rode this up to $7, a 40-cent little spike right here, pulls back, and then it spikes into the close. I love playing stocks that spike into the close. It's awesome. 560 to 850. That's a $3 spike at the end of the day right here. 1,000 shares. What is that? $5,600. $5,600. 1,000 shares would have made you $3,000 playing the end of the market right here. You would have almost doubled your money. Let me go back and pull up the news from Monday to now. So they came out with a Form 8K, a Form 4, Form SC13G, go to the 15-minute on this. This recently spiked really big as well. You could see it went from $4.30 up to $36. Look at that. That's awesome. This is the 15-minute. So much opportunity right here. And this is what a low float stock can do. This is under $1 million in float. If volume pumps into this and people start buying it, look at these huge rips. The only thing that would worry me on this are bag holders. People who got in on this. People who got in on this all up in here, all up in here, and here, and they're still holding it. I don't know why, but they're waiting for it to come back up so they can sell their position. That's the only thing I'd be worried about on this. The next resistance I'm seeing on this is 875. 875, 995. This has room to run. You know, it can run 50 cents to $1 at a time, it looks like. So I would look for this to possibly Monday pull back and consolidate, and then make another next move up. Because you could see it did the spike right here Monday, then it consolidated for 4 days, or no, 3 days, and then it had this spike, pulled back, and then had a U shape and spiked again. So I'll put a resistance on this at 875. Go to the 65-minute real quick. Again, around 875. Let's see the daily chart real quick. The 50-day is at 977. And the 13 EMA is at $8.18. The weekly, way up there. And the monthly, it's way up there. Even the week it went from $6 to $36, it had 5.7 in volume. This past week, it had 16 million in volume. So it had ×3 the volume. People will remember what it did, and they're like, I'm not gonna miss it this time. That's exactly what they're saying. So most definitely keep an ALT on watch all of next week. The market's starting to heat up and get hot. We'll see what happens. Next up, NBEV. Looks like NBEV starting to squeeze on up. And we'll look for it to break a high up here at around I'd say $9. Can it hold above $9? Because they got stuffed at $9 multiple times this past week. This is the 3-minute. So we got Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Monday, this had continuation grinding up, pulls back. This is the squeeze or the trap I was telling you about. When it looked like it was starting to fail out right here, and it broke this low right here. Shorts started piling in on this, and then it set itself up as a trap and started trending back up. Shorts freaked out, started covering, and look what this did. It went from 680 after hours to a high of 1021. And then everybody took their profits. We've seen choppiness. Shorts didn't want to touch it. And right now, after it went through that $10 after hours and everybody sold, this kept coming back up to 850 resistance, 850 resistance, and then came up and broke through 850 after hours. And then right here at the market open, you could see it opened up at this level 850, and that would have been a beautiful scalp here from 850 to 950, $1 right there. Then it crashes down. People took their profits, comes back up, this 850 mark again, pops up above it, can't seem to hold above it. And then after hours it's very, very volatile, very volatile. And that's why we got this, you can see it squeezing right here with the lower highs and somewhat of the higher lows. It's making a perfect triangle right here. Pretty much like this. And then it popped out of that pattern, comes back down. Now 850 is holding as resistance as we closed into Friday. So I'm going to be looking for this Monday. Even on the daily chart here, watch. You can see it's forming higher lows going up in this $9 area here. You see those wicks, they keep popping up over this $9 and getting pulled right back down. So something is holding this down below $9. I'll just put it right there. And we got 850. 850 is popping up a lot on this. So I got a resistance there at 850. Being patient and waiting on this. This is a big important thing right here. You don't want to be the one that gets in at the top. Patience is the key in the market when you're trading. I know when it's spiking up and it's green, you want to compulsively buy. You got to wait for those key support and resistant areas. And right now, NBEV key support at 850. And a lot of resistance at 9. And then just below this 850, what's the next support we got? To get a better picture, I always go up in the time frames. So we got 850 right here. Below that, what do we got? Looks like $8 maybe. $8.775. Look at that. That's awesome. Wait for it to pop out of that pattern. This is on the 15-minute. Look at this run on this. This thing from $1.50 runs up to $10, pulls back to $4, $3.50, $4, runs all the way back up to $9. Crazy momentum on this. Wow. I would honestly say the next support after 850 is 750. Honestly. Just like IGC, this likes moving in 50-cent increments. if you had unlimited trades, you could be scalping the heck off of IGC. Or not IGC. Well, IGC is in a downtrend. I'm talking about NBEV. Now, IGC has been somewhat dying off. You can see this week it just failed, gapped down, sideways, gap down, and then just selling off. This is what it did all week. Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, it gapped up, went sideways, closed strong. Then the next day, gaps a little bit higher, a little bit. Has some shakiness right here, spikes up, and this 1472 was the top. Comes back down. Looks like 1075 was acting as support. Spikes back up to 1450. Triple top right here. And then from there, it just comes down, 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 down. So IGC for sure. For sure. Now this is going to be kind of like, I'm going to be looking for this to be like a rubber band play. It's just had 1, 2, 3 straight days of red. And it's just like a rubber band. You know, you get that pulling action of the red, and then its first green day, it's like it's let go and it snaps back into place. Shorts cover their positions. You get buyers. People are going to have this on their watch list. What's the float on IGC? Float is 27.8 million. So 3 straight red days. It's crazy how at the beginning of the week this was touching 1450, and by Friday this is closing at $4. This is why a lot of people don't mess with penny stocks, because they don't know how to play them. They're very volatile. You don't compulsively buy them. You study them, analyze their moves, go off of chart history, set up a game plan. One second here. Just remove me for 1 second. Alright, IGC. Now, I want to go back far enough on this to see key support and resistance areas coming into this $4 area. So I'm going to go to the 15, well, let's go to the 65 minute first. You can see here on the daily, first we'll go over the daily real fast. So the past 3 days, this has been in a downfall. Now, is there any key support on the daily it's coming up to? I'm seeing $2 is its next main support that it's closed at on the daily. Man, that is just so cool. Got your move up, pulls back, moves up, pulls back, and then from 250, boom, just explodes. This has been in play for 3 weeks now. Look at that. Now, a key thing to do when looking at the daily chart, even the month, this is the monthly. This has gone from 35 cents to a high of $14.50. So just for laughs, let's see. This was just at 35 cents. Let's just say we have $1,000, okay? $1,000 divided by 0.35 equals out to 2,857 shares. I'll just say 2,800 shares. 2,800 shares. This hit a high of, what was it, like $14.50? We'll just say it goes up $14. So we'll times this by 14, and that equals out to $39,000. So buying just $1,000 investment and holding on to this for 3 months would have made you almost $40,000. But nobody has the patience to hold on to something like that long. That's why, you know, it's just crazy just to do the math on some of this stuff sometimes. You know, there's a lot of money to be made in these stocks. And all I want is just a little piece of it. That's all I want, a piece of the pie. Repeat it over and over and over and over again. Cut your losses fast. Start being consistent in the market, and you can start to be self-efficient and be your own boss. That's the beautiful thing about the market. Opens up a lot of doors. So going back to this, $2 was a main support resistance on this, on the daily. So I'm going to draw support here at $2. We'll put 205. And then we got $4. $4 to, see, this gap right here kind of sucks, but that's way up there. These gaps like to act as resistance as well. So we got gaps going up and we got gaps going down. I'm going to say 475 is going to act as resistance. Next up, we got $4. So we'll see if $4 acts as support. So from $4 to 475, that's a range I'll be looking at. And if it breaks $4, really its next support is 330. 350 to 330. So let's see, let's put this here at 330. And I also want to draw a retracement on this, Fibonacci. I'll do that though on the daily. Man, this is just, and then 250. So there we go. We got our support and resistance plotted out on the 65-minute. Let's bring back up the daily real quick. Now I want to do a Fibonacci retracement. There's a couple ways I can do it. I could do it from here, or I can do it from here. First, let's do it from here. And you could see, this is why I love using Fibonacci. It comes right up to this area right here, and that acted as resistance. Pulls back, comes back up. It was struggling to hit that, but it closed above it. And then it gaps up, and then the 76.4 just crosses over it, comes right back down, bounces right at this area, comes up, gaps up, gaps up. You can see every time too, from the 68.1, that's where it opened, comes up to this 50-cent retracement here, and then it moves up 38.25, touches up there, and when it comes back down, it kind of bounces off of this 38.2, gaps down below the 50-cent, and now it looks like it's gonna try to bounce here at 375, like I said, at the 76.4. Let's try to put one more. I want to put it right here now. Change the color of this one. It bounced right here at 61.8. That's where it closed at. But I'm liking the first one better. And I'll keep this on for this upcoming week to see how it holds. I love using Fibonacci retracements. Fibonacci in general is just awesome. It really is. So 3 straight red days. Key support levels. What did I say? $3.75 to $4. And then after that, it's tough. We got 350. There's just so much. It's getting into this point now where it's every 50 cents is going to have support and resistance. I don't like playing stocks that have a lot of gaps because those are going to act as resistance. They're going to act as support. This has got bad momentum right now. I want strong stocks. I'm just going to put key support, $3.75, $4. And I want to see if it gets back down to $2. Or actually, you know what? I'll write a note on here. Let downtrend. let downtrend play out. Let downtrend play out and prove to me it's moving up. So I'll stick with that. IGC is looking ugly right now. Then moving on. OGEN. This is on the 15. Let's go to the 65-minute real quick. Didn't OGEN have news? We had a Form 8K, a bunch of Form 4s. Another Form 8K. Let's see what we got. Right here. So on the 5th, they exercised the public offering. That could kill the momentum. They were practicing public offerings at the price of $1. I'd be careful with this one. I really would. What's the float? Hold on. OGEN's float's 4.4 million. I am going to add it to my watch list just to see what it does. It's looking like it's got key support here at $1.50. But what's scaring me is the public offering. Now, they like to do public offerings normally at the close or right before the market opens, pre-market. So if they do one, it could kill the momentum on this. But it's looking like that's what's going to happen on this. So I wouldn't even try swinging this or holding anything in this. This is just a very fast play on this, and it's on the American Stock Exchange, AMEX. I don't normally play Amex stocks. I only stick to NASDAQ. But even if you were to put a trend line on this at the bottom, look at where this leads to. $1.50, $1.60. So $1.50 is holding a strong support, but you got this $2 area that's been resistance for it. I'll put another trend line right here at $2. So we'll see how that plays out. Friday, this was just choppy. But when you zoom out, you can see a better picture of it. What about on the daily? Does this... Alright, it's still above the 50 and the 200 day. The 200 day is at 237, 250. So, reached a high up here of 375. And if you go back and look, this is on the daily. Where are these other candles at? Here you got $3, $3.40. This is in the $4 area. In the $4 area. Where did this lead all the way up to? And if you follow my line on my crosshair, it leads almost to the top of all those wicks to the left of the chart. And that's what you got to look for when analyzing these stocks, because this is what other traders are doing. So OGEN, be careful. I'm writing this down. Be careful. Public offering at $1. What did I say? $1.50 support. $2 resistance. A nasty one. Let me go back here real quick. We had 2 IPOs released. CTK. How did CTK open? CTK opened 2 weeks ago on a Friday, and it went from 11. It opened at 11:50 and it closed at 9:40. So let's see how it performed this upcoming last week. So CTK, how did you do? Just kept falling and falling. See, this was Friday, its first day. Opened at 11:50, dropped down, and it just slowly died off. So nothing on CTK, and I don't know why I got NYSE written down. Nothing. MRNS. Nothing. These are just stocks I'm going through real quick. MRNS, if you look at the daily on this just hit a new high up here. A new 52-week high. Last time it was in this area was way back in 2015. So I put possible swing on this. Waiting for this to pull back. And it's pulling back right to this $8 area. But it's until it proves to me it's done with this downtrend. It's in a downtrend right now. It's making lower highs, lower lows. The 50-day is right here at $7. Yeah, it's toppy here at $10. I'd wait for it to pull back, possibly to this 50-day at $7 and see what it does. But I'd want it to prove to me it's strong. I'd want it to bounce and then start like either moving sideways, consolidating, or making higher lows. Starting to show me that it's got strength to it. Right now it's in the middle of a downtrend. I like MRNS though for upcoming, just keeping an eye on it for upcoming swings. So I'm just going to write down good charts to watch. MRNS, $7 area. Weak right now. Alright, what else we got? Moving on. Did RNN do anything? This does look like it's got a little bit of a squeeze going on it. But the 13 already crossed over the 200-day, having this pop up to almost 2. But until this gets over $2, it's got room to run up to 230, but I'm not interested in that. LEVB. Look at this one. Zoom out on this. Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Monday, this went from $4 to a high of $7.44 and then dropped all the way down. You see how it drops down, keeps dropping down, and then it's got this sideways. That's what you look for. You look for sideways and for it to maybe start trending back up. A lot of people just make this complicated. I don't get it. You don't need to make this complicated. Keep it simple. Keep it stupid simple. KISS. The KISS method. Always. You don't need 1,000 indicators to tell you what's going on. Just follow price action, resistance, support, and volume. And a catalyst. What's hot right now? Pot stocks have been hot for the past month, 2 months. So let's see what this has for news. Research projects the U.S. medical cannabis market to reach $12.5 billion by 2025. Looks like they did a public offering of 6.9 million on the 2nd. That was right here. It did the public offering, and I think it announced it at the end of the day, and then it dropped it from 6:30 down to 4, and it's just been going sideways. until this can get back above maybe 550, 575. It just goes to show this company's hungry for money. It's really its first green day, and on its second day, at the end of the day, they did a public offering. You know, it just goes to show this company is hungry for money. I'm not adding LABB to my list. Not interested. NOG. What's this look like on the daily? Look at NOD. NOD's been slowly trending up. No, I wouldn't say that. That's about right. Very steep. And this is a a bearish pattern right here. This is very bearish. But you never know. This could break out and keep going. It's got, if you go all the way back here to January 24th, 2017, you had resistance here at $4. Look at where this closed at, $4. Even back in here, $4 was a tough resistance for it. And then $4 was support right here. More resistance. Somewhat support right here. Yeah, support. This is what I'm talking about. Going back and looking. People don't like putting time in and doing this and studying. That's the 90% it's going to fail. You got to dedicate yourself to this. You got to have a passion for it too. You really do. Alright, going on to, what did ABIO? I'm just going through my papers and just writing down what happened. Looks like ABIO's got a squeeze going in on it. It's bouncing here off the 50-day, but we got resistance here at 80 cents. It's proven it can blow through it with this too. Came right up to $1. What's going on with ABIO? Just chart pattern. It's a low float, I know that. CRMD. Okay. This loves doing U-shapes. Loves doing U-shapes. You could see that. That's why every stock has their own personality as well. Every stock is like a person. They have their own personality. They have memory. That's what's fascinating about the market. You could see U-shape here, hits resistance, falls down. U-shape here, resistance comes down. U-shape here, resistance falls down. U-shape here, breaks out. U-shape, hits resistance, falls. So more than likely this is going to U-shape up and fail. It could get momentum though, you never know. That's why I say I don't like to predict the market. I just want to react to what's happening. Use chart history as a guidance. You can see this is cool right here. There's a couple patterns I'm spotting, and I hope you guys can spot them too, just without even me saying anything. We'll start at the beginning. Look at that. Put a trend line down on this, connecting the lower highs, because the stock comes down, acts as resistance, comes down, acts as resistance. It finally breaks above that. And after it hit this resistance, it pulled back, and then it got tighter and tighter right here. You could see that. It got real tight right here. Popped up above that, and from 46 cents, this ran up to 50. Mental resistance. This pops all the way up to 68 cents. And then again, right here. Connect the lower highs. Pops above it. Goes from 63 to 82 cents. And then again. Put another line on that bad boy. What did it do? It pulled back. Started grinding up higher, getting tighter and tighter. Pops up out of it and just runs. That's how you analyze a chart. Boom! This is what other traders are doing. This is what the professionals are doing. They're doing this, being patient and waiting. And this is the importance of going over the weekend, looking through all these charts and seeing what's setting up, and then having the patience and waiting for your setups to happen. No one's probably going to watch this an hour in. Maybe only a couple people are going to watch this. And if they get to this point of watching it from the beginning to here and even the end, congratulations. You have what it takes to be a trader. Keep at it. Your hard work will pay off. Trust me. You should see it on Twitter. You start to see people pop up in the beginning, bragging that they're making money. A couple months down the road, you don't ever hear from them again. You hear people congratulating and thanking Tim Sykes for their success. A couple months down the road, you don't hear from them ever again. And then you'll start to notice people continually, if they're getting it and sticking with it, you'll see them just keep posting and posting and posting. Months later, you still hear from them, and then that's when professional traders take notice. They say, hey, this guy's been posting consistently for 2 years. All right, let me give him a shout out. Let me see what he's up to. And that's how you get invites to conferences and stuff like that to show what you've done, how you've become successful. That's what it's all about. You can do this. You can. People laugh at me when I tell them I trade in the market and that I'll never get it. I'm still here over a year later, and I've been consistently green, making profit. One day I will do this for a living, but enough with the rants. Moving on to VTVT. We had a very busy week last week. A lot of stuff popped off. VTVT going from 75 cents, look at that, to $6. That's a crazy move. And I only traded 2 times last week. 2 times. Monday, I lost $300. I didn't trade Tuesday. I didn't trade Wednesday. I didn't trade Thursday. Friday, I traded. I made almost $700. I made back my $300 loss, and then I made $400 on top of it. So a profitable week. I traded SYN, and I traded MTGX, MGXI or something. GTXI is what I traded, but we'll get into that here in a little bit. So VTVT, let's see the news on this. Form 4. See, look at this. VTVT Therapeutics exercised right to cause investor to buy 1.9 million shares at $1.33 per share. Let's go to the daily real quick. Okay, we got the 200-day here at $3. Get out the pen and paper and let's write all this down. $200 MA at $3. Real quickly, go to the weekly. We got even the 50-day on the weekly is at 330. You can see it came right up to it and it closed. So, will this hold above 330? Beginning of the week, will this gap up and hold above 330? The longer the time frame, the more significant things can be and happen when they set themselves up. So the 50-day, 50 MA, monthly at 330. The monthly, it doesn't have a 50 and a 200-day moving average. And the 13 EMA, where is it at? It's at 304. So this $3, 330 area is going to be very important on this stock. My opinion. Now let's move to the, let's see what this did on the 65 moving down. 1 second, we gotta get a caffeine fix here. It's about making sacrifices to do this. If you work a full-time job, no excuses. I work a full-time job. I work more hours than most people. I work 60 hours a week at my job, and I still find time to be a day trader and study the market. No excuses at all. You gotta make sacrifices. I don't get to see my family that much. I barely get to see my family. The only time I get to see my family is on holidays. I get 1 day off a week, Saturday, and then Sunday nights I go right back to work. Run a couple hours off sleep, wake up, do the market thing for 3-4 hours, lay back down, take a nap for a couple hours, and then go work for 12-13 hours. Do it all over again. Gotta push yourself to do this. If you push yourself to do this and dedicate your time, and even paper trading, that's why I tell myself I know I can do this full time one day and be my own boss, because I know how far I've come. Okay, we got our caffeine fix in. Now going and looking at the 65-day or 65-minute chart. What was acting as resistance on this? You can see it opened up right here at 290. Then it moved up. Comes down to the 330 area. It gaps down to the $3 area here. Then it comes down, moves back up, 275. 280 is resistance. Gaps up, comes back down. Where did it bounce off of? 310. What's the key areas we just looked at on the daily chart? The 200-day moving average was at $3. The 50-day moving average on the monthly was at $3.30. And it's been playing in these areas right here. So I'm looking for $3, $3.30 to hold as very strong resistance on this. Resistance and support. And if it breaks up and through that, this has room to run to $4. And then if it breaks through 4, it's got room to run up to 450, 475, and then 550. So this can run. This very well can run. What's the float? Float is only 9.5 million. Held by insiders, half. Held by institutions, 11%. Shares outstanding, 13.32 million. So shares outstanding compared to the float is the shares available to the public to trade. The shares outstanding are the total number of shares between the public and the insiders. That's the total amount of shares possible right here. And this is the total amount for the public to be traded, like you and I. What's VTVT do? Let's see. Clinical stage biopharmaceutical company discovers and develops and sells orally administered small molecule drug candidates worldwide. The drug company candidates comprise, they're getting into some big words here, but overall it's a pharmaceutical. Type 2 diabetes, type 1 diabetes, okay. Current debt is 19 million. Its cash it has is 3.4 million. 10% is short the float. The average daily volume is 2 million. Their revenue is 4.8 million. Real quick, go back to you guys real quick. I'm liking VTVT. I really am. Let's go to the 15-minute real quick. So even here at 350, it's got some resistance. I'm going to add this draw support lines. So we got support at $3. $3.30 is where the 50-day is on the monthly. And then at 350, it's got resistance. And real quick, I just want to, let me see something real quick. Swing low. Okay, let me remove this. Let's see. Somewhat alright. I'm going to keep it on the 65-minute. I don't base my trades off of Fibonacci a lot of times. I just, like I said, I love using Fibonacci and just seeing how the rule of Fibonacci correlates with the market movement with these candlesticks. $61.8, that's a key level on a Fibonacci. 38.2. The 50% isn't in the Fibonacci, but they just throw it in because that's the halfway mark. Normally stocks like to pull back half and then do its thing. But we were on the 5-minute. What else is showing as resistance? So that, like this $4, 450. I'm going to say 425. And of course, you got to draw out 350. Move to 3-minute. Okay, this was from Friday. I was keeping an eye on this. It was in this trend. You see it broke out of that trend and then it collapsed. So it's showing weakness. But it's bouncing right off key support levels. Look at here, even when it came down, it bounced right off $3. Came right up to 330-ish, 350. But that's the power of looking at multiple time frames. You would have been able to see it. So VT for sure. Even on this, real quick, because I watched the 3-minute during market hours. So I want to put a support line here at $3. And support here at 330. $425. There we go. All right, moving on. What else we got? INO. INO had news, but it's just it had news, it spiked up. Very low float stock. From 570 to 630, didn't get momentum and falls right back down. You can see this is the daily. I thought this was a newer stock. About 525, 550. This is somewhat of in a uptrend though. You can see here it was all in a downtrend. You got a spike here, but it still made lower lows. Continues to make lower lows. Then it goes sideways right here. And then it starts making higher highs, or higher lows, I mean. This could be the beginning of a trend up. See, if you go back way over here, you see the top of this gap way over here. If you follow the crosshair all the way to the left, gaps love acting as support and resistance. I'm going to draw something on this though, just to see if it works out. Is this going to be the start of a trend? I also want to add extended period. There we go. Like to have some room on my charts. There we go, that's better. So we'll see if this trend holds up. You can see it bounced here at 470 and it bounces up to 633. It's got good range on it. It really does. So right now I'd be looking this to pull back to either 525 and bounce up, or pull back down to this trend line at $5 and start bouncing off that. So I'm going to add INO to my good charts to watch. INO. I'm going to put maybe start of uptrend. So far this live stream has been going great. This is a lot of great stuff in this live stream. A lot of great stuff, and we got a lot of great plays coming up into the upcoming week. And the market is really starting to heat up. It really is. And this is what you wait for as a trader. You wait for the market to heat up and get on fire. And this is why every week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, get a notepad, get a pen, write down these tickers that pop up on scanners, that pop up on percentage gainers. Write them down Monday through Friday. And then over the weekend, actually go over them and look at them and analyze them. So Tuesday, we're about to move on to Wednesday. See, this has been in an uptrend for a while. This has been in an uptrend since last year, going from $1.60 to $4. See? See, you got an uptrend right here, and then it had a correction right here. A few more days of just getting out the weak hands, and starts the trend up. And you could see here with the wicks, this was something I learned in a book and I never forgot it. When you see an uptrend here and you see the end of the downtrend here, look at the wicks at the end of the candlesticks. It's almost like a freight train stopping. You see you got your long wicks and the price comes right back up. That's selling starting to slow down. The price moves lower, buyers bring it back up. That's showing that the downtrend is starting to slow down, and then what do we get? We start to move on up. And the same thing would be opposite when looking at an uptrend. I learned this in the book How to Read the Market Using Multiple Time Frames by Brian Shannon. Yeah, Brian Shannon. Highly recommend that book for anybody. This thing just like totally disregarded the 50 and the 200 day here, just blowing through them. But you can use them also as where the money's at. Now you see here at the end here on the weekly, it's starting to point down a little bit. That's telling me that the overall buyers are not buying. They're starting to sell. And that's why they're pointing down. Go to the daily. They're still pointing up. Go to the monthly. You got the 200 day slightly going down. You got the 50 day curving up a little bit. But we had a correction here. And then it came right back up. Man, I like this. It might be a little late on this because it's gearing towards the top here at $4. You can see a lot of resistance. This is a beautiful chart. Very beautiful chart. I also like this one. I'm going to add this to good charts to watch. ATRS, but it's at the end of its run. And this is how you spot opportunity, folks. It does like using the 50 day though, as I can see on the daily, as a guide for support. Right here, right here, and right here. This is a perfect trend line on this. Look at that. That's beautiful. Could add another trend line as well. Right there. Boom. Beautiful trend. $1.86 to $3. Would you all agree that this is a beautiful uptrend? Heck yes. Beautiful uptrend, I'm writing. Alright, moving on. Are we finally done with Tuesday? Yes. Tuesday and Thursday are going to be, or Wednesday and Thursday are going to be pretty fast. PTIE. Straight up, straight down. You can see that right there. Spikes up from $1.20 to $3. Falls right back down. PTIE. You know what? I traded PTIE on TD Ameritrade. I forgot. At the end of the day, yep, I got in right here at 206. And I sold up here at 266. Wow. It was just a quick scalp. I think I bought like 300 shares on TD Ameritrade. I made like 150 bucks on it. Then look at it. I think PTIE came out with an offering. Let's see. The Dow this week made all-time new highs as well. And what was it? Unemployment rate hit all-time lows again. And the last time they seen these low levels was back in the 60s. I want to say like 1963. Get on your phone, subscribe to Yahoo Finance, Google Finance, get email notifications from all that stuff, and they'll give you market updates throughout the day. It's good to know what the overall market is going through. Okay, here on the 4th, they had a $3.5 million grant award to study Alzheimer's disease. PTIE. See, it's got a lot of resistance here at like $2. You can see it's ran right up to where these wicks are right here. I mean, look at that. It's perfect. You can predict this stuff. When it's going up, just look at last time it came up to this high right here and it couldn't break above it. $3. Where did it come up to? $3. Fell right back down. I'd say it's done for though. You could see too as well after it has one good day of spiking and then it just downtrends and consolidates. One good day of spike, comes back down, downtrends, consolidates. One good day of spike, comes back down, consolidates. One good spike, comes back down, consolidates. Over and over again. MNGA. Well, that's an ugly looking daily. Magni Gas implements corporate rebranding. That was on the 1st. Then they filed for an 8K. Right here. October 4th, Magni Gas Applied Technology Solutions issued a press release announcing that the company has been accepted as the newest member of the Welding Institute, a leading international membership body for welding and joining professionals. TWI has been at the forefront of welding and metal fabrication technologies since its genesis as a spin-out from Cambridge University more than 60 years ago. Look at the hit this just took. I always do that. My bad. I just exited out of everything. Let's see here real quick. MNGA doesn't. I wouldn't keep it on my watch list. I'm just going to run through these real quick. ATAI. Straight up, straight down. INPX. Yeah, nothing worth keeping an eye on. Going to Thursday, we have pretty much the same thing. So Friday, we can finally move on to Friday. GTXI. This one I made 700 on right at the open. So this had a good gap up, and this has got to go on the watch list going into Monday because momentum could easily come back into this. GTXI, the flow on GTXI is 15 million. It's got a lot of insiders though. Held by institutions, 40%. Held by insiders, 52%. Shares outstanding, 24 million. And a float of 15 million. But I traded this on TD Ameritrade and Charles Schwab. TD Ameritrade, I got in here at $1.94 when this was pulling back right here. And I held on to it overnight and it gapped up. And then on Charles Schwab, I got in right at the open right here when it was breaking above this 250 level. And it spiked to a high of 335. I sold on Charles Schwab, I sold as it was testing $3 for a $400 profit. And then TD Ameritrade, I sold at, I got greedy on TD Ameritrade. This hit a high of 333, 335 and started coming back down. And I sold that one at, I want to say like 269. I'm not sure, but I made 300 on that one. But then look at that dump. Touches 335 and falls all the way down to $2. Didn't even really have a volatile bounce. See, it bounces at 210 and tops out at 239, like a 20-cent bounce. But I would add GTXI just to see, because recently this had a huge gap down. Look at that. This was trading at $22 and this had a big gap down and continued to sell. And it just had a good day right here. So GTXI, just keep on watch. Just keep on watch for possible momentum. I'm writing this down because traders can look at this and be like, this is at a discounted price. This is oversold on the RSI. A lot of traders are going to see this was just at $20. It's at a couple bucks now. I'm in. Always got to look at that stuff. So I got a decent sized watch list going into Monday. I don't want to make it too big. ALT, NBEV, IGC, OGEN. I don't even think I want to add OGEN to the list, but I just want to keep an eye on it just in case. VTVT and GTXI is what I got. So now I can rip these pages out and we can start fresh. So let's dig into what happened Friday. Go tier 2 market strength. I know the Dow hit all-time highs. Let me take a drink here real quick. The Nasdaq's still trending down somewhat. The S&P is just seeing a pullback back to the 50-day. So the overall market isn't really looking too well. You can see here, this is the 5-minute, and this is the 5-minute on the NASDAQ, and this is the daily for the S&P and the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ's below the 50 and the 200-day. The S&P is above the 50-day and 200-day. Like I said, it's just having a pullback right now. So this week I'd look for it to bounce off this 50-day and maybe start trending back up to the high here. And I don't want to call tops in the market, but it's not. It's looking like we're in a toppy market. I mean, we could be at the end of the road here for a bull market. All this year, beginning of the year, we pulled back hard. And we've just been grinding up and up and up since. And when we made a new high, it really wasn't anything. What was it, 2 points? A point and a half. And then we pulled back. We made a little bit more of a high. It's looking very toppy, and the NASDAQ has just been getting killed. Look at that. It's pulling back a lot. That's a triple top right here. From 96.75 all the way down to 85. Let's see, what do we have for the biggest percentage gainers? Snap. Pull up the time frame. We'll go back to Friday, 4:30 p.m. GTXI, even after that big drop it had, INPX, VTVT, OGEN, TROV. Let's look at TROV. $0.82 up to $1. It's got good news here. Trovagene enters license deal with MIT on combination for cancer treatment. That's a key word there, cancer. It's got room to fill here. It's got room to run up to $1.80. We'll see if this dollar holds up on it. I'm not going to add it to the list. It does have room to run, and the float on it's 17 million. RXII real quick. Nope. Public offering. ASNS. Nah. No. Other than that, I'm probably just going to see what the news has to bring in on Monday. I got a great list to start off the upcoming week. And real quick, let's just go over some key things real quick. So we had GE, some big noticeable moves this past week. GE had two great gap ups this week. Monday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. Yeah, Monday it had a gap up from 11.35 to 13. Then you had your sellers all right here, all the bag holders just taking their profit, and then it's still selling off, and it looked like it started to stabilize, going sideways, and then we had another great gap up right here, up to 13 again. So going into Monday, I'd look for probably maybe. Personally, I'm gonna say that you're gonna experience selling on Monday. People are gonna take their profits, but this very well could continue. But it's looking very toppy up here. Go the 15-minute. See, it's looking very toppy up here at 13.25. 13.25. But look what it did here. I mean, I don't really see any big moves after gap ups on this. But then we also had Tesla. Elon Musk settled with the SEC. It was below $300 down here at 263. Then he settles and it gaps up to 300, hitting a high up here at 316. Then it falls right back below 300 here, and it even gapped down because at the end of the week, Elon Musk put out a tweet pretty much poking at the SEC. And that's what caused it to drop. But we're seeing Tesla be very volatile lately. Yeah, very volatile moves on Tesla. But you can't count Tesla out. Tesla is Tesla. I personally feel like there's a lot of great things coming for Tesla. I mean, since it's topped here in 2017, it's kind of like went sideways. But even in his tweet, he mentioned there's great things ahead for Tesla and big news. And it can never seem to break below 250. So 250 is very, very key. 245, I'll say, is key for Tesla. And it has a hard time staying above 300. And the 50 and the 200 day is right here at this 300 area. Let's look at this on the weekly. A lot of choppiness. But on the monthly, it's bullish. Look at that. Curves up. It loves bouncing off this 50-day on the monthly. It's right there at it. So be careful with Tesla. And then TLRY, we can check that one out real quick. Back to the daily. You can see since it's touched 300, it pulled back to $100, and then it moved its way on up to 174. And now it's pulling back again. Now this time to the 13 EMA. This again is looking, to me, it's looking bullish. Very volatile. Very volatile. A $75 move here in 1, 2, 3, 5 days. It's an average of $15, $20 a day. That's awesome. And then I just like keeping an eye on Funko. I want to see what Funko does. It's a low float. It could be reaching the top up here. They only really have one good product, you know, and I just like keeping an eye on this to see what it will do. Let me connect something here. Let me connect the trend line down here. Let me see the weekly. Yeah, you can see it trended up, and then you got a spinning top here, and then now you're starting to see the selling. It's a perfect triangle. And then ODFL. Let's see what this is doing. More selling. Now it's breaking below the 50-day. So this is coming down to the 200-day moving average. History, this is liking to bounce off the 200-day. We'll see, but this we could be seeing a downtrend starting to form now with ODFL. Look at that on the weekly. Straight downfall. Right there with the 13 EMA. Let me look at this on the daily real quick. This is the 65-minute. Yeah, I feel like ODFL is in the middle of the downtrend now. I'd be bearish on ODFL. That's my opinion, though. Normally, we go over the 52-week highs on this, but this video is already approaching 2 hours. I don't want to make it too long. I mean, this is a long video, but I know hardly anybody's going to watch it. So I'll just do this on my own. I hope, just prepare for the upcoming week, guys. It's going to be another fiery week this upcoming week. Make sure you guys study up. Study, study, study. Have that patience. Have that discipline. Prepare for the upcoming week, guys. It's going to be a good one. Up 400 on the week after I took a $300 loss on Monday. So I made that back plus $400. It's a green week. I think I'm going on 5 green weeks in a row now. So study up, guys. Be patient. Wait for your setups. And until next time, guys, have a good one. Later.